And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, Tom Vasel here.
Hey, Zee Garcia, what's happening?
Today we're taking a look at Super Motherload.
Super Motherload!
You know, the name of the game makes sense because you're digging and you're looking for the Super Motherload, but I'm telling you, every time I've told people the title of this game, they've laughed. I don't know, I've told anyone the title of this game and they took it seriously at first.
Well, the guys' helmets sure don't help. They look like they escaped from a movie.
Yeah, they do. They do. But the game itself, when we pull it out, looks like a video game.
It does. It has that feel to it, yes.
Dig Dug, I think, is what this is based on. But it's also a deck building style game. But it uses this kind of spatial element to dig down. Let me show you. In this game, you're going to be digging down below. You have these tokens here that you'll be using to make tunnels or to bomb out areas. And whenever you do that in the course of this game, you're going to get whatever you cover up. And each thing that you cover up is going to be worth different amounts. So like, for example, the black rocks are worth 2, while the gold rocks here are worth 3. While if you blow this up, you get to draw 2 cards. When you blow up this artifact, you'll draw one of these and you can spend it. Like, for example, here, to get a bomb token and a card. Here you get a bomb token. And the game comes with a double-sided board so that you can play different games. And once each artifact on this board is covered up, then it slides up and you put in level 2, which is also a double artifact board, but also starts having gems that are worth more. And then that slides up into level 3, and then that slides up into level 4. And when the last artifacts are covered in level 4, then the game is over. Now players are going to start with their own hand of cards. They get a starting deck of 7 cards. So the cards that they have will show different pilots and different colors of drills, red, blue, and yellow, along with maybe some possible special things. At the beginning of the game, you don't have anything that's special, and you're going to shuffle these and you're going to draw 4 of them. And on a player's turn, they have 2 actions. One of their actions can simply be draw 2 more cards from the deck. They can also drill or bomb. Now when you drill, all the drills that you have to play, that you play, have to be the same color. So these are both blue, so that's legitimate for me to play both of these together. So when you drill, you start at the top. So let's say I play 2 drills together. So let's say this is level 3, but let's say we're at level 3 here. And so I drill here. I get to draw an artifact, and I get that much money. If I manage to drill for 4 later on, I could put, as long as it's in a straight line, and then later on, I might drill this direction. Now when you drill, there's rocks areas. Those cannot be drilled into, while there's steel plate that can be drilled into, but only by the color of the border surrounding it. So you'll see the yellow, blue, and red can only be drilled into by those things. You can also bomb. You'll notice here in this red card that there's a bombing symbol there that shows a 1x2 area. And they're all different as you get different red cards over the course of the game. They will all have different ones, like this here is a 2x2. A bombing area has to connect to the drilling paths that have been made so far and has to be those exact sizes. So I could bomb this whole 4x4 area, 2x2 area out here, and I would get those 3 things. You also have to spend a bombing token when you do that, so you only have so many bombing tokens that you can get. And so players will bomb out different areas. Rock can be bombed, but the steel plate areas cannot be bombed. So I could have bombed this area here as long as it was attached again to other tunnels that are around. Now each player has in front of them a row of 4 piles of cards. This is each player's. I just showed to you to show the different artwork for each player. So let's say, for example, I drilled on 2 yellows and I have 6, and so on this color, I can put these on top of this card. And then later on, when I get more money, I might put it on top of this card. As soon as I get the amount that it costs in the top corner, in which case it's 10, I discard all those, and I take that card and put it in my discard pile. So once I run out of cards to draw, all the cards in my discard pile, which also include cards that I've played, I get into my hand, and these cards will do different special things. So for example, this pile, it gives me a double yellow. So this is a better drilling card. And once I buy that, it gives me access to a triple drilling, and then another double drilling, and then another single drilling. And you say, well, why would you want to buy the single drilling? Well, that's because look how many points this is worth at the end of the game. It's worth 10 points. Also, when you buy some cards, they will give you a special ability in the bottom. So, for example, when I buy this card, it goes directly in my hand instead of the discard pile. This guy here is a wild card, so he can be used. This can be used with any other color drill. And when I use this card and get money, instead of having to put it all on top of one card, I can spread it between the cards. And when I play this card, I get to draw a card. When I buy the card, I get a bomb token. So whatever's in the bottom happens when you buy the card. And so down here, you can see that this gives me a new kind of bomb and a double red drilling. Over here, you can see that I get I get to double one of my tokens. And this, whenever I play this card, I get to draw another card. And each player has the same things, except that the special abilities on them might be different. For example, this player here can drill diagonally rather than in a straight line. While all the way down here at the bottom, this player, when he plays this card, can drill into rock, which is normally not allowed. When the game is over, you are going to take all these cards out of your deck and count how many points each of them are, and that will count towards your final score. Another way to get points is through major and minor achievements. At the beginning of the game, you'll draw 3 majors and 3 minors and place them here. And if at the end of your turn you meet one of these achievements, you can take that card. So here, if I have 2 red, 2 blue, and 2 wild pilots, I can take this achievement worth 5 points. Here, 3 yellows and 3 wilds. Major achievement cards are worth 5, and when you take them, that's it. Minor achievement cards, let's say here, they're much easier to do. I have 3 bomb tokens in my area. Or here, I have 3 minerals that are the same type. If I see one of these, I can take that card instantly, and it is replaced. You're only allowed to take one of these cards per turn, and so you can take 1 major and 1 minor. These are also added to your score. Remember, when all the artifacts on board 4 are found, at the end of the game, whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, I don't know where I stand on the box cover. The box cover is okay, I suppose. But the graphic design of this game, I was incredibly impressed with.
Oh yeah, it's a very clean look. I love the
really
look of the
sharp.
game. Everything, every icons and iconography, and just the overall graphic design of the game is very well done. Really clean. Nothing will escape you. Everything's easy to explain. Everything makes sense. No muddiness about it. I am a big fan as well.
The rule book is very straightforward, easy to understand, and even though I'm not sure what I think about this, I think the artwork on the cards is great.
It is.
It has
really
this
good.
kind of corny, but they don't know that they're corny.
Yeah,
Right?
it
They're taking themselves seriously.
Yeah. It has a bit of that retro sci-fi look that I really enjoy. It's that 50s look meets really advanced sci-fi. I like the look quite a bit.
Now, there's a lot going on in this game, but in reality, it's really simple. I love games where you just keep moving on your turn. You're going to draw, tunnel, or bomb. That's it. Draw, tunnel, bomb, draw, tunnel, bomb. And everyone starts with the same deck, and everyone is slightly different, but not so much that you think someone has an unfair advantage. Each person has 1 minor special power that's on 1 card. And then you all have different powers, but they kind of switched which ones were on each card, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But again, it's really easy to play, and as you're sitting there, you have to figure out what you're going to do. Am I going to... Because every time you dig a tunnel or do a bomb, you're going to get a pile of stuff, but you have to think, how am I setting the next person up?
That's right, because they can dig from your tunnel. I think that's really smart. I thought the game had a really nice flow to it. It was one of my favorite things. Yes, there's deck building, but it's fairly minor. The board play is really interesting. The way everything's laid out, the way you play out the new boards as you finish digging one, and you're now deeper into the whatever planet they're on. I like the cadence of it a lot. I think it's really smooth and just a fun sort of family game that has a bubbly kind of feel to it. It just
Right. The theme is it's kind of just a video game style. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not finding bombs and more cards as you dig down in the tunnels, But it does have that feel like do, 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 and I go over here and I just set Z up. He just took a jewel that was worth 12.
Right.
And I thought it was a pretty neat idea to take the money and the jewels and the gems that you find and put them on the cards, because sometimes you're sitting there going, wow, I can get like 10 worth of gems, but I only need 2 more to get this card done.
Yeah.
So do I overspend on that card and get it because I really want that card? Or do I put in another card, but then I have to wait another turn before I get these cards in my deck?
Yeah, and you're working on 2 at the same time at that point. Yeah, that's really neat. I've never seen that before. A deck building game where when you're buying the cards simply by playing the game, and you're slowly buying the card. Really neat twist.
And money has nothing to do with it, so you have to decide, am I going to go get all of one pile? It's a lot of points if you do. But at the same time, if you spread out, you can get better... you have more variety.
You have the colors too, which are going to let you dig through specific areas. If you only get one color, you're limiting your board play. Obviously, again, you're getting more points for that. Nice balancing mechanism.
And the game plays very quickly. Not only do turns go by, but it says here in the box, I think it's like 40.
It says 75, and it plays...
I think an hour.
I think an hour is a good call. I think it actually plays faster than that, especially once you know how to play. It's just so quick.
If I have any minor negatives about the game, it's that sometimes when you flip over one of the minor goals, it's the next person just automatically gets it.
Right.
Out of sheer luck.
Right.
I don't know any way to fix that, and it's not that big of a deal because everyone has it, and you can look at the minor goals and say, ooh, 3 bomb tokens, I'll start collecting those, even though I need to use them just to get those points. But a solid package, interesting. It's a thin box, but there's a lot of game in here, and the double-sided boards will keep it from getting boring. One of the best deck builders I've played in a while.
Agreed.
Dice Tower Judgment, into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!